Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about the topic of I'm afraid they're going to fire me or retaliate against me or treat me bad if I file workers' comp. So the reason I'm talking about this is because I spoke with somebody last week who is already getting run around by their company and probably is already fired. She's in a really bad situation at work. She had a prior injury and then had a work injury that made things worse, and is just afraid, knows that she's messed up, knows she needs money while she's off work with this injury because it's quite a serious injury. She knows she needs medical care, but she also knows that she's probably fired. They won't put her on the schedule, and they won't do anything for her, and they won't help her. But she still is very, very afraid to file workers' comp. So there's a couple of things to think about if you're in that situation, okay? In the vast majority of people who call me who have anxiety or fear about filing workers' comp, it's usually because they work at a company that every other person who ever got hurt at work, no matter how legit the injury, the company gets rid of them, treats them like crap, fires them, puts them on a crappy work schedule, whatever it is, doesn't like them, is rude to them now, is insulting to them now. And my first question is, why do you want to put up with that? Why do you want to work at a place that you get hurt on the clock, on the job, and the minute you get hurt, they're throwing you away like a used paper towel? They're treating you like you're a jerk because you got hurt doing their work. That's not cool. The other thing to keep in mind is you have rights under Illinois workers' comp, and all employers know what those rights are. You are required to have workers' comp insurance, and if your people get hurt, you have to accommodate their injury, and you have insurance for that. So the money isn't coming out of the company's pocket. And insurance companies don't raise your rates typically if you have one claim. You're supposed to have workers' comp, and the workers' comp pays the benefits, not the employer. The employer pays their premiums for the insurance once or twice a year, and they don't want their rates to go up $100 a year or something like that. But, on the human level, if you need surgery and you're off work and you have no money coming in, and your employer is trying to intimidate you so that you have no money coming in for you and your family, you're afraid to go to the doctor because you're afraid of the medical bills, but you need medical care, that is an employer who does not care about you at all, okay? Now, even the nicest employers in the world are not going to continue to hire you and pay you if you have a serious injury and you can't make them money in the business. So one thing you need to keep clear in your head is if they're treating you that way, then they are not very moral, they are not following the law under Illinois. And the third thing to know is, even if you stick with them, even if you have a serious injury that heals wrong and turns into a permanent back, neck, shoulder, knee injury, and you've got it for the rest of your life, and you don't miss a day of work, the day after you are done with your case, in other words, after your deadline for filing a case is over, they can fire you, just like that. Most states are employment at will states. That means they can fire you for any reason or no reason whatsoever. And so if they're treating you like a jerk, they're probably going to get rid of you. And if they do get rid of you, then you have no reason not to make a claim for personal injury, make a claim for injuries under the Workers' Comp Act. So the last thing I'll say is, if they fire you specifically because, they fire you specifically because you filed a workers' comp claim, that's a lawsuit. You can sue them or make a claim against them and receive money because they're violating state and federal law by retaliating against you for you exercising your rights as an employee in the state of Illinois. The other thing is, if they are making you work overtime or they are discriminating against you in any other way, there are a bunch of labor law rules I mean, it varies state by state, and I'm not a labor law lawyer, but I've got a couple of friends who are labor law lawyers, and I've got friends all over the United States who are labor law lawyers. So if somebody's making you, there's a high correlation between companies that treat their employees like crap and threaten them if they get hurt on the job, and companies who make people work uncompensated hours, violate the state's labor laws, and things like that. And if a company does that, guess what? There's a claim for that as well. So my point is, if you're in this situation, you know, things aren't going to get better, and they're not magically going to change their minds and start taking care of you. It's one of those problems that unless you act to fix the problem, it's not going to get fixed. It's not going to get better. And the sooner you get medical care and representation after an injury, the more likely you're going to have a good outcome medically and in your injury case. And like I said, you might have a retaliatory discharge case, you might have labor law, wage and hour violations, and all of those are claims that a good lawyer can get you connected with a lawyer who does those claims and get you compensated. And that's going to give you a little cushion for when you look for a new job. And hopefully it's going to be a better job than the one you left. You know, you don't want to work for people like that. You don't want to spend your life. I mean, I know times are tight and it's hard to find a good job, but there's plenty of jobs out there. And, you know, you can't live your life. You can't get hurt at work and let it ruin your health and let them get away with it, because in a business, you're replaceable. The minute you can't do what they need you to do, they're going to get rid of you. And that's why they have labor laws, and that's why they have workers' comp laws. So if you or a loved one got hurt at work and you're worried about it and you need a free consultation, or really if you've been hurt in any kind of accident or injury case and you have questions and you need to talk to somebody, I offer a free, no obligation consultation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call me anytime. I'm happy to answer your questions. 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Some people aren't ready to talk to a lawyer yet. I created 2 really cool tools on my website I want you to check out. Links in the description. One is called the Case Cash Calculator. It tells you what your case might be worth in settlement. Literally 10 or 20 seconds. It's 6 multiple choice questions. It gives you answers like that, free and no obligation. The other one is called the Good Case Calculator. It tells you whether you have a good case or whether you might have a case that has some challenges. And again, link in the description. Same deal, 6 or 7 multiple choice questions, takes you 10 or 20 seconds to do, and then you get free, rock solid legal information that you need to know. And it tells you whether your case might be good or whether you have some challenges, right? Made that completely free, no obligation. Links in the description. Feel free to share them and use those tools whenever you want to. If you enjoy my videos, please like the video and subscribe. I would appreciate that. And if you do subscribe, hit the bell icon. And if you would not mind, Chicago is a very competitive market for personal injury, and people really rely on Google reviews. So if you appreciate the information I give you in these videos, you've used my tools, you've downloaded my special report, you got a copy of my book, or any of that informational or stuff that I make and give away for free to injured people, or if we've spoken in the past and I've helped you out, or you're a current former client, if you would not mind giving me a 5-star review on Google, it would really help me out. Link in the description. You just go to that web address on your phone, tablet, or computer. It takes you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Takes you 5 to 7 seconds, but it is an invaluable favor to me, which I would really appreciate. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you and your family are well. If there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to call 312-500-4500. Take care.